Hello everyone, thank you so much for showing interest in learning HTML and CSS. My name is Joseph Opio and I'll be taking you through the basics of HTML. You want to be a web designer, you want to design web apps, you want to do all sorts of things on the web, you must have knowledge on HTML, and in this course I'm going to teach you HTML, the very basics of HTML. Actually, I should call this course HTML from zero to hero, when you know nothing completely and you want to do something in HTML. So if you're new to this channel, please subscribe to my channel. Remember to like this video, and if you have any comments or any questions, just post them in the comment section. I'll be happy to get back to you. Professional, I'm a teacher of computer science and I enjoy attending to people's questions. I'm a people person. So without wasting any more time, let's dive in straight to what we have to do today. So whenever we talk about web design, something should come into our minds immediately, and that is HTML. Someone will ask me, what is HTML? So let's just go step by step and let's get to know why we learn HTML. Now, when you try to search for something on the internet, anything that you search for, you'll always find that it will be displayed in a web browser. Now, actually, everything that you see in your web browser is HTML. Someone might ask me, what's a web browser? We shall talk about that later. So HTML basically gives your web page the skeleton, and everything that is displayed in your web page is actually a bunch of HTML, paragraphs, headings, images, links, and a few other things here and there. In order for us to be able to create an HTML document, we need to use a text editor. Any text editor can be used. For example, in your computer, you have a text editor called Notepad. Notepad can do HTML for you. Let's just have it and let's see how it is done. So on my desktop here, I'm going to create a new folder, and let me just call it web design. So after calling that folder web design, let's just create something inside here. So I want to open up Notepad and see if I can save anything inside there. So let me just open up Notepad. How do you open up Notepad? Go to your start menu, and actually let me make my screen bigger. Let me just pause this a bit. All right, hopefully we are now good to go. So let me just open up HTML. Let me open up web design. And this is our web design folder. So I want to create a new file here, and let's just create a small text file. Let me just call it index. Now I've called this file index, and if I open it up in Notepad, type in something. So let me type in, this is a document. So after saving it, still my document has not been saved in as an HTML document. That's when I will introduce you to what we call file name extensions. Now, to view your file name extensions, you have to click on view and then go to file name extensions, show hide file name extensions. Now, you'll notice that this document has an extension .txt. This .txt is called a file name extension, and it's the one that enables your computer to tell which program to open which file. Now, your computer knows how to arrange everything in that. That's actually the duty of the operating system, and it's so good with what it does, and it's so perfect. So let's see what would happen if I would change this extension. Let me do something. Let me change this to details so we can see that this is a text document now. Let me just make a copy of it. So no, let me do it this way. Let me just double click on it, and let me click on file, save as. Let me save it. Let me choose here all files and save it with another extension. Let me do maybe .doc. Let's see what we get. Look at this. You realize that index.txt has actually been changed to a Word document, and when you try to double click on it, it will actually open in Microsoft Word. Now, this file name extension enables your computer to know which program can open what. Let me actually make this quite bigger, because if you see here, you'll see it's a Word document 97 to 93. Let me try to open this again and just save it as file, save as. This time, let me save it as a document for later version of Microsoft Word document. So .docx. See what happens. Let me close this. See, it shows it as a Microsoft Word document. Let me make these icons quite large so that we can see them. So We can also modify the file name extensions right here so that we can see whatever happens. I'm just showing you something extra. This is just an extra lesson for you. Let me try to change this to .mp3. You will see that it will get an icon of an mp3 file. Let me try to change it to the .mp4. It will show you like it's a video. Let me change even this time. Let me change it to maybe to .ppt. You'll see that it now shows that it's a PowerPoint file. Let me try to change it maybe to .torrent, maybe a file name extension which is quite big, longer. You'll see that it will identify it as a torrent, and it is really not a torrent, it's actually just a text file. So our HTML documents shall always be saved with the extension .html. Now when I do that, you'll see that it now shows you that this can be opened in a web browser. Let me just delete off these because this is what I want. Let me also hide my file name extensions just to make sure I don't change them accidentally. And let me try to open this. So you'll see that when I double click on it and open it up, it will open as a web document, and it opens in a web browser by default. Let me close this and double click on it again. See, it opens in a web browser. So now for me to be able to add more text into my document, my HTML document, I actually need to edit it in a text editor. So I told you one example of the text editor that we used was Notepad. Let me actually open up this HTML file in Notepad and just do a few more things with it. So open with Notepad. So this is a document. This is the first, excuse me. This is the first line in this HTML document. Let me get rid of the other one so that this statement is true. So when I save this and I go back to my web browser and refresh, you'll see that yes, I have that. Now here's the problem. If I try to add in something else, maybe this is the second HTML document. See what will happen. When I refresh, it will actually be taken as the same line of text. Yet if I view my page source, if I right click and go to view my page, so I'll see that this is actually in a new line. So that's when I will introduce you to what we call text editors for the meantime. Now there are so many text editors we can use for editing our web pages. The first one is called Visual Studio Code, which there are so many of them. I'll not be able to mention all of them. Let me just search for these and let me show you. Let me reuse these very tabs. Another one is Sublime Text. Another one is Notepad++. We have so many others. We have PHP Storm. We have NetBeans. And so many. We have Atom. And if we look at all these, let me open them up. They are all really good for editing your web pages. So let me just show you how you can download them. For example, if you want to download Sublime Text, you'll just come here and then choose download for Windows. If you have a Mac, it will show you download for Mac. In case you're downloading from another computer and you want to save it elsewhere, you can just go to download, this icon here up here, and then choose whichever version that you need. So downloading that. Notepad++ is here. So I can say maybe I want this version here, and I'll choose download. Okay, that is done. And Visual Studio Code is here. I can just say if you actually want to get a version on Windows which you can install system-wide, because by default it installs into the user's account. I mean the user system. You can just come here and then choose what did I choose? Anyway, I didn't see it well. You can come here and then you choose other downloads. Then you can choose system installer. Depending on your system's architecture, you can choose either 64-bit, 32-bit, or ARM. So for me, let me choose this. Let me go to PHP Storm. PHP Storm, I already downloaded and installed it, so I will not do it again. And then NetBeans, I feel I should not download it. Let me just leave it. But you can still go ahead and download it from here. Click on this and you'll be able to download it. Atom is also here. You can choose to download it. And the good thing about almost all these IDEs is that they are cross-platform, and you can use them on Mac, Windows, Linux, any operating system. So let me just create a folder here and then transfer these softwares here, and then I show you how to install them onto your computer. So here we go. We have the software here. So how would I install Atom? Just double click on it. So here we go. It's saying Atom is being installed. It will launch once it's done. Let's give it time. I wouldn't encourage you to have all these installed depending on your system. I would just prefer that you get one which you prefer and then use it. So Atom is here. It has been installed and it's all going on well. Let me just close this out. Let me install Notepad++. Anyway, Notepad++ is installed in my computer, but just to show you what you're supposed to be doing. So this is your user account control settings. Here we go. So I'll choose the language that I need to install. So let me choose English. Click OK. Sorry, this keeps popping up on the other screen. And I choose next, agree, and then next, and install. Okay, I will not install this. So Sublime Text. I have Sublime Text also installed, but I can still go ahead and install this just to show you how it is done. So it will come with this kind of screen. So I'll choose add to. I actually prefer whenever I right click on something that I can edit it with Sublime Text. I need it to be shown within this, and open the Sublime Text. Sometimes I just enjoy that. So that is that. You choose this to in order to enable that. So I can install. Then after installing, well and good, that will get in. Then how do I install Visual Studio Code? Visual Studio Code, I'll do this. Double click on this. Your user account control is right here. Click yes. So here we go. Accept the agreement. Next. I always like checking all these. Just check all these to make sure everything is well. And then click install. Okay, here we go. It's telling me to launch Visual Studio Code. This time I will not do it. So let me just show you how I would use each of those to edit my web page. Let me just get rid of this. Let me delete it. Hold down Shift. Do you want to permanently delete? Yes, I don't want to see them again. Good. All right, so I can just right click on this. Edit with Notepad++. Yes, so this is how Notepad++ does its thing. And let me try and just create my HTML structure. So doc type HTML. That directive tells your web browser that you're dealing with an HTML5. HTML. Closing HTML. Okay. What do I need in here? I need my head section. Head done. And I need my body. And I need to close off the body. I'm not so happy using Notepad++. Yes, it does syntax highlighting. It shows you a few things here and there, but it's not as robust as the others. Let's switch straight to Sublime Text. Okay, one advantage of using Notepad++ over Notepad is that at least the syntax of your code can easily be followed up. Let me have here my title. Sorry. Title. So yeah, really, this works, but I'm not so happy with it. Yeah, I'm really not so happy. So let's just switch straight to Sublime Text. Let me right click on this and open with Sublime Text. Now you can straight away notice that Sublime Text is better. Look at this. I have all this all this thing I've been doing, I can just do this. Just put an exclamation mark and wait, exclamation. I can't get this anyway. Let me just do HTML like that. After doing that, all that code which I've been struggling with, it has written it for me. I'm able to create my HTML boilerplate by just typing in something small. And I can say maybe fast, sorry, page. Then one advantage of it is that I can right click on it and choose open in browser, and my web browser will open. Let me just close off these other things that we were looking at the other time. And you can straight away notice that my title here has changed now. Better still, you can still use Atom. Let me close this off. Let me close this off. You can use Atom. Let me open up Atom. It's here. So here we go. This is Atom. And previously I'd loaded this project into Atom. Let me just get it out of Atom. Remove project folder. Remove project folder. Good. So to be able to add a folder, you just click on add folders, go to where it is located. For example, this one is on my desktop, and then straight away I'll be having this here. This let me close off these other tabs. I don't need them. I don't need this. I don't need this. I don't need this. I also don't need this. Double click on this, and this also allows me to just use that shortcut to create my web page so fast. Just by doing that, I have everything. And then I can put in maybe second, just write something long, second trial of the first page. Let me switch to my web browser. Sorry, I can't see it. Right click on it. Does it have what we need here? I can't see that. Let me just show in Explorer. So here we go. Double click on it. I have it in my web browser, second trial of the first page, but still I'm not someone who loves Atom. I prefer using Visual Studio Code. Because Visual Studio Code, I can literally in this folder right click on the folder and choose open with code, and all my projects will be loaded into Visual Studio Code. Watch how it looks. Now much of the time, almost every web designer likes working with Visual Studio Code when it is in dark mode. So let me just switch it to dark mode so as to look like everyone else, you know. Though I really don't like looking like everyone else, but let's get this. So dark default, that is good enough. One advantage about Visual Studio Code is when you go to the marketplace, you can install a lot of add-ins that enable you to do a lot of stuff with your code. And I have a lot installed, but the ones which I will encourage you to install as a beginning web designer are number one, let me just save it as required files, extensions.txt. All right, so these are the required extensions in case you need to do this. So let me just arrange them. So we shall be working with this so many times. You'll actually realize that I have the thing that, like let's say for example, I'm in my index.html file. One advantage with this is if I try to create an HTML file, I just use this abbreviation, press tab, and everything's at once popped in. I don't need these for now. We shall get to know what they are later. So once I hit Ctrl S, it automatically formats them. Even if my text is, my code is poorly arranged, it automatically formats them, and I'm really so happy of what it does. So this is a better HTML editor as compared to the previous one that we were looking at, as compared to Notepad and all those other kinds of things. So in HTML, whenever you double click on your HTML file, it by default opens internet browser with a browser, web browser basically. So for example, it can be opened in Google Chrome, Firefox, Internet Explorer, any web browser. Its work is to transform your HTML code to text that can be read by everyone. So HTML basically is for hypertext markup language. It means this is text with links in it. Anytime you want, you can click on any link and it will be able to take you somewhere else. A markup language is basically some sort of programming language that makes text more than just sit on a page. It can turn text into images, links, tables, lists, paragraphs, text, headings, and anything else that you might need to put into your document. All right, so HTML has a, I don't know whether I can say brother or sister or friend or uncle, auntie, grandmother, whatever. It has a friend that it works with called CSS. CSS stands for Cascading Style Sheets. And I always like comparing this to a lady. A lady can be HTML. The makeup she applies onto her face and everything about her is the CSS. It makes her look beautiful. But of course, she needs to be beautiful first before she can make herself more beautiful. Anyway, that's about ladies. So now let's try to set up our HTML page and let's see how we can go about everything. So we have already set up our HTML. We need to have this declaration to show your web browser that you're dealing with an HTML5 document. Then we need this opening HTML tag. See, one advantage of doing this is when I click here, automatically it selects for me the last tag that I have. When I click on the head, it shows me the closing head tag. Body shows me the closing head body. This is the advantage of using a text, an IDE or an advanced text editor. And I most especially prefer Visual Studio Code for what it does for me. So now this is actually the skeleton of every web page that you will always be creating. Now, there is something that we need to know about when we are dealing with HTML. These keywords with these angle brackets, some people call them greater than and less than. We call these tags. A tag is a keyword in angle bracket. So each tag tells your document what to do. For example, this title tag, let me save this. I just hit Ctrl S and then I open this with let me open with Live Server because that makes more sense to me. It auto reloads everything. You notice that the word document is here because it's in the title here. Let me change it to something else. So let me say maybe this is for the winner. When I save and I go back here, you'll find that it has changed to for the winner. Why? Because in my HTML, I've told it in this head section, I've said the title should be for winner. Now, the head section contains information about your web page that is not visible to the user, and the body section is the one that's going to contain the information that you are going to show to the user. So let's create our first ever tag our first ever tag that displays information to the user, and that is the paragraph tag. We use P. Now, one advantage of using these ID is that I can just type in P and press tab. It will open for me and close for me that paragraph tag, and I say this. So if I save that and get back to my web page, you'll notice I've already inserted the paragraph. So basically that's how we insert content into our HTML document. There's something that I want you to take note of here. If you notice this, my P tag closes right here. My body tag closes from here. Whenever you're creating tags, the tag you create first must be closed last. Let's take, for example, an example of these these two, body and paragraph. I created body, then created paragraph. Closed paragraph, then closed body. I created HTML, then after that created body, then paragraph. Then closed paragraph, then closed body, then closed HTML. Same with the head. Created HTML, created head, create title. Then I close the title, close the head, and close the HTML. Now, this kind of thing is called nesting. You need to know how to nest your paragraphs, your tags well. So now we created our head and our body section. I told you the head contains information about your web document, and the body contains information that is visible to the user. So I hope we are happy with what we've learned. Let me end this video here because this is just an introduction to HTML, and we've learned how to create an HTML structure, and we've been able to insert a paragraph, and hopefully we are happy with what we've done. And if we render our web page in a web browser, it should look like this. So thank you very much for watching this. Let me see you in the next video where we're going to talk about something deeper than this.